is here. I'm not gonna get. The emperor, the conqueror, the champion, the lion is here. I'm not gonna get the trouble. What's up? The emperor, the conqueror, the champion, the lion is here. I'm not gonna get the trouble. What's up? Anybody? So quick. All right. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, great and wonderful people of Biafra, lovers of freedom all over the world. The sound so this. So, great and wonderful people of Biafra, lovers of freedom all over the world, I greet you and I welcome you to this program. While you are joining, share the video, invite others to join. Are you joining us on Facebook at Judge Money Blog? Wherever you are joining us from, share the video, invite others to join. Are you joining us on YouTube at Judge Money Blog Africa? Okay. Let me see what is going on Facebook. I think the settings on Facebook is not actually adoptable. Let me we're going to change the settings we have on Facebook. All right, I think we are going to cut it off on Facebook and bring it back. I think what I'm using on Facebook is not the right one. I don't want them to cut us off in the middle of it. So those watching on YouTube, kindly remain there. We are coming back. Remain there. We are coming back. Very, very important. Let me connect to Facebook directly. I'm going to remove this. Before we go there, let us listen to Hamadike.
All of you never knew that IPOB and this Biafra movement was for your liberation. Some of you saw maybe the oil and gas from Biafra land. If they go now, we won't have access to oil and gas. In the process of having your eyes fixated on oil and gas, your forest is gone. Do you understand it? Every Yoruba person supporting Fulani, You are setting up yourself to become like the Hausa people. Remember when Hausa was supporting Fulani? We are Hausa Fulani. We are Hausa Fulani. Where are the Hausa people today? I ask you. Where are those Hausa people today? Do you see them anymore? They're saying we are Hausa Fulani. We are Hausa Fulani. Do you see them again today? Do you see them? I'm asking you. No, because Fulani have completely overwhelmed them. It's called emasculation. Completely emasculated them. Look at what they're doing in the East. In the East, they come to the East, I will tell you, oh, you want to be the president or vice? Yeah. They say, give us land for Ruga. They give them land. I saw Joseph Okado did that law Banta. They have taken it over in forever and ever. Give us land in your state. Hope of them are prove to us that you are stood. Give us land in Olo. Hope of them will give them land in Olo. We can go and kill people in Obibo. We can kill for them. How many Fulani governors are prepared to kill bandits? I didn't say normal people. I'm talking about armed, dangerous bandits. How many Fulani governors? Go and read your newspapers, you will see it there. Fulani governors are negotiating with them, giving them arms, giving them vehicles, making sure that their life is no longer a misery. But see, they come down to the south. They tell you, give us land for Ruga. Go and kill your people to prove to us that you're one Nigerian. That was why Obi also was talking rubbish. Was talking, was it yesterday or 2 days ago? Supported by the BBC. The problem you people have in Nigeria is this. Your journalists, you see people, Punch newspaper, Tribune, Vanguard, and Nation, they are your second worst enemies. I'm telling you the truth. They can never, ever be objective in their reportage. Never, ever, ever. That's why all of you are suffering. But you don't know it. They were the same people used to scuttle the NSAS protest. Of course, some of you went about looking for Indomie in warehouse. You must stand very firm. They'll say, oh, you're Igbo. Oh, you're Yoruba. Oh, you are from Europe. Don't join them. It's our turn in 2023. If you do this, you will scuttle our chances of becoming the president in 2023. Ask yourself, all of them that have been president from time immemorial, what benefit has it brought to you as a human being? Absolutely nothing. So you have nothing to lose. Absolutely nothing to lose. You look at them now, how they have now descended on Yoruba people, asking them to concede, give us your forest, we must graze, we must do this, we must do that. And slowly, before your eyes, they are giving in, they are capitulating, they are allowing them to go, if you don't give it to us, so Tinubu will not be president in 2023. Tinubu won't be the president. That's what I'm saying to you. And foolishly you will agree and hand over your land to them. And once they take your land over from you, look at how
all right, great and wonderful people of Biafra, lovers of freedom all over the world. I am going to actually pause it here and start from here. Where Mazen Nnamdi Kanu told you that Tinubu won't be the president. Because I want to bring your mind to it. Whatever we are doing, I want to bring your mind to it before we proceed to the main cause that actually brought me here this evening. If you are joining us on YouTube, on Twitter, on Facebook, share this video. If you are joining us on Twitter, retweet the video. We have a lot of things to talk about this evening. Just like we have predicted, you have seen what is going on in Nigeria today. And then we are going to be, actually, let me start with dissecting what Mazen Nnamdi Kanu said here. That all of you never knew that this IPOB is for your liberation. Because so many of you see the oil and gas in Biafra land. And then you are championing 2023 Igbo presidency. And then he said that in Yoruba they are asking them to concede and they are capitulating because they say it is their turn 2023. You know, have you seen now that the words of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is like a Bible? Whenever it comes to it, we open it. And he told you that Tinubu will not be the president. Tinubu will not be the president. And the reason why Mazen Nnamdi Kanu told you that Tinubu will not be the president, you will see that it is the reason why they want to prove him wrong. Remember during NSAS protests in 2020? This is exactly the reason why Catriona Len went to Tinubu, to tell Tinubu to go and scare people away from the Lekki toll gate. It is your turn in 2023. And now you will see that Tinubu is not the president of Nigeria. Tinubu is not the president-elect in Nigeria. Tinubu is just a president selected in Nigeria by his money. And there is no way he could be the president other than because of the secret that he knows in Aso Rock, and he has to use his money to still buy himself presidency in Nigeria. So that is the reason why I want to bring your mind to it. All of you never knew that IPOB and Radio Biafra and Biafra is for your liberation, because what you are doing always is that when each time you come out, they will find a way to deceive you. They will find something to actually distract you. And because you are very, very gullible, you always forget so quickly. That is the reason why they are always winning in manipulating you. Let us continue with the message from our leader. Tinubu will not be the president of Nigeria. Now let us continue with the message of our leader.
Hausa. Because there is a saying where we come from. If you want to know what your life is going to become in the future, look at Hausa people. If you want to understand appreciate, I will say, the life that you are about to bequeath to your children and grandchildren, look at Hausa people. Is there any Hausa governor today? Is there any Hausa emir? Is there land though? Katsina is Hausa land. Kanu is Hausa land. Sokoto is Hausa land. The Hausa people own it, indigenous to those areas. I'm asking you this question. Is there any Hausa man who is an emir in the north? The answer is no. Something is going to happen to you. If you don't rise up now to break, I'm not even asking people to break this rule. Demand for what rightfully belongs to you, your freedom. The freedom to decide. The freedom to write a constitution if you prefer. The freedom to live with whoever you want to live with. That is what we're asking for. But most people misunderstood what we are saying. And today, almost everything we have said about the zoo has come to pass. Everything we have told you, everything I told you has come to pass, hasn't it? Everything. And some people are still questioning and arguing. They said, Fulani will resist by all means necessary, including armed resistance, any attempt to forcefully eject them from the forest. Yoruba, you must ask yourself this question. When we were pursuing them from Ebonyi, why didn't they say something about ESN or Nnamdi Kanu? Why? Have you asked yourself that question? Because they know we are prepared to die to defend our land. They understand that very well. That is the only language the Fulani understand. You cannot say to Fulani, oh, let us have a Fulani president, and after that all will be well. Never, ever, ever. They will continue to expand. They will continue to identify idiots in your midst, traitors, saboteurs in your midst. They will promise them heaven and earth. They will give them anything they ask for in order to ensure that they get into you, they subjugate you. Look at Yoruba and the Ilorin. Yoruba, how did you lose a Ilorin? You lost a Ilorin because somebody thought or felt that by aligning himself with what he felt was a superior Fulani force, he can defeat his own people. Afonja, what happened? As a result of that miscalculation, the great Yoruba race lost a Ilorin to Fulani Caliphate. That is why in Ilorin you have an emir of Ilorin, not an Oba of Ilorin, answerable to Sokoto. That is where Lai Muhammad comes from. You can see them. Sokoto slaves in Yoruba land. When I say that, it's not religion. It has nothing to do with religion. It has everything to do with the mentality of a conquered people. Now they have left the Ilorin, having taken a Ilorin and taken it to Sokoto. They now want to come into Oyo. They want to come into Ondo. Once they take over all those places, it's over for the Yoruba race. Over for you. No, never again will anybody rise a man of honor or integrity in Yoruba land. Never ever. It will only be their stooge. Look at what's happening in the East. Only Fulani stooges can now emerge in the East. It took them very many years, nearly 50 years, to accomplish this very simple task of making sure that everybody, be it Ohanese, be it Pandef, be it governor, anybody you're bringing out must come to the north to swear allegiance to the caliphate. All of them, bar none. Is there any political godfather in the East? There is none. They all go to the north to go and swear allegiance to the Janjaweed. That is why our life is in a mess. That is why they can put somebody like Obiozo and make him the Ohanese President General. In front of our eyes, in front of Koro. And what did they bribe? They gave money to BBC. They gave money to all Zoo newspapers. They started to trumpet Obiozo, Apex Group, Apex. You saw them holding their meeting under a canopy. A ton without shame. A whole Ohanese. Under sand, torn canopy. Maybe you saw it disgraceful and shameful. Talking rubbish. The man looks like a Janjaweed anyway. Talking nonsense. These are people they have prepared for you to sell you down the drain. By the time the Fulanis are done with you, believe you me, if you don't rise up now to fight for your freedom, by the time Fulanis are done with you, you'll be more useless than a Hausa peasant doing Babi Allah somewhere in Zaria. That is the future that awaits you. Now, our people must understand this very clearly, especially my Yoruba brothers and sisters. It is about time you stop supporting evil. That evil is in Asorok. That evil is a gang of reprobates calling themselves presidency. The more you keep on supporting evil in the zoo, the more your land will be taken from you. The more your daughters will be raped and abducted, the more your sons will be slaughtered in cold blood. And under one Nigeria, there is nothing you can do about it. Absolutely nothing.
All right, great and wonderful people of Biafra, lovers of freedom all over the world. You are welcome to this program, and then while you are joining this program, continue to share the video and invite others to join, because it is very, very important. Just like you have heard our leader and what Mazen Nnamdi Kanu has to say about what is happening in Nigeria today. This was a broadcast he made, few years ago, with regards to what is going to happen and what you are seeing today. Have you seen now when I say that the broadcast of our leader is like a Bible? Each time you need one of it, you go and bring it. That is the same thing that the enemy will use it somehow to put it upside down in order to use it to achieve their, selfish aggrandizement. That is how it is. And I want you not to forget that whatever we are doing, we are following that book, that Bible. And that is the reason why the enemy was not able to penetrate. That is the reason why everything they have put in place in order to scuttle the activities of IPOB, to destroy us one way or the other, that is how they have failed. So the more they are actually trying, the more they are failing. The more they are trying, the more they are failing. And I want you, as a Biafran, and those of you who are all over the place, jumping up and down, calling yourself obedient, I want you to know that it is high time that you need to change your mentality. You need to change your mentality. You have become so foolish enough Now, the reason why IPOB actually let you do what you want to do without interference, without even trying to give you a reason to say to murmur that IPOB is your reason, IPOB scuttle your chances, it is because we know that this is going to happen. It is because we have seen today, yesterday. I told you, each and every time I come online, I told you that anybody that will tell you no election in Biafra land is a criminal. Because they are, the reason why they are telling you no election in Biafra land, it was only because they have planned, the way they are, which they are going to use to to rig the election. They have planned to rig the election, and that is the reason why they will continue to tell you no election in Biafra land, no election in Biafra land, for you to actually, capitulate. Once you capitulate, the thing that will happen, it will now become that you, as an individual, you are the reason why. The only chance they will call it for them to achieve Igbo presidency, which they have been clamoring for in the last 50 years, I may say, that you are the one who scuttled it. Now we are going back, down through the history. In the year 1963, do you know the reason why census of Nigeria? Okay, let me start with the first election. The first election that took place in the year 1959, on the eve of the independence, it was rigged and courtesy of the Britain. They rigged the first election courtesy of the Britain, and the evidence is right there. The evidence, the man that helped them to rig the election basically confessed, and it is right there in the public domain. It is there for everyone to see on the public domain. And I have made that exposition, which is so many things. There is something that we, most of the time when we actually speak in media platforms, or when we are actually, granted media, space, or national media space to talk about it, when we talk about these things, they will think that we are actually talking. It is all about propaganda, because I was speaking on a radio today, and I was actually talking about these things. I know they believe that I was actually talking propaganda. It is a national radio, but at the end of it all, I managed to squeeze many of it in before they actually cut me off, because they believe I cannot defend what I was saying. And in this regard, it is very, very important that we make these things known to the public. In 1959, Britain rigged election in Nigeria. They introduced election rigging in Nigeria in 1959. In 1963, there was a manipulation in the, census. And the reason why for this manipulation of the census in Nigeria is as a result of what you are seeing today. Rigging of the election, marginalization of the southern part of Nigeria, eastern part of Nigeria to be precise, to marginalize them, to tell them that politics is a game of number. That is the reason why they rigged the census in 1963. That is the reason why they manipulated the census in 1963. And then another thing that I actually noticed that happened in Nigeria in 1998, it was about changing the the introduction of the INEC. Introduction of the INEC. It used to be what they call NECON. Is it National Electoral Commission of Nigeria? NECON, National Electoral Commission of Nigeria, which is national. Now, the reason why Britain advised Abdulsalami Abubakar to make it, to introduce INEC, to make it independent electoral commission. The reason why it become independent is that people like Tinubu, who are so rich with your money, they can easily walk in, because it is independent, it is not nationally controlled right now. Now they can easily walk in and dish to them a huge amount of money that they cannot say no to, and they will give him Nigeria president. That is the reason why they introduced independent electoral commission instead of National Electoral Commission of Nigeria, which is supposed to be national. It is Ohazuluku. It is no longer like that. It is now independent. So their decision cannot be questioned, except you take it to the judiciary. And when you go to the judiciary, Fulani Federal system is controlling the judiciary of Nigeria. The Fulani Federal system controls the judiciary of Nigeria. It is not quite long ago. I will not say, let me take you through the memory lane, because it just happened, few months ago. In the month of October, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, in the month of 13th of October, is it 13th or the 14th of October, 2022, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu was granted, was discharged and acquitted by the higher court of appeal in Nigeria. By the higher court in Nigeria. Not the lower court. Not the baby court. Not the customary court. Not any other court. Not high court, but appeal court, which is a higher court. He was discharged and acquitted because of the Fulani feudal system. They actually override the decision of the court. Override the decision of the court. That is the same court. So many people will be advising obedient and obedience, will be advising them now to go and present their case, and tell the youth who are following him to come away from the street or stop their protest, go to the court and challenge. If you believe there is election malpractices, if you believe there is election rigging, you should go to this same court that is same controlled by the feudal system that Fulani practice. He will go there, they will waste his time. After wasting his time, they will still tell him, take heart. They will still tell him, take heart. And they will start tuning him that, in when is the election coming again? After 4 years, right? Which is 2023. We are in 2027. You will make yourself available. Maybe you will win. At least you have marketed your Labour Party. You will have structure by then. I keep on telling you people that are Nigerians, those ignorant one Nigerianists, you are in a zoological republic. There is nothing that will come out of zoological republic. In case if you do not know, nothing absolutely will come out of zoological republic. It is not a Nazareth. That is zoological republic. At least Nazareth, good thing came out of it. Christ came out of Nazareth. This is zoological republic. The only thing that will come out of zoological republic is that when you unleash the lion, it will go and eat buffalo, or go and eat antelope, or go and eat prey on other animals. That is what you see in zoological republic. And when we call it zoological republic, you should actually, we are actually pitying it, and we are actually giving it a lot of respect. We are not insulting it. We are giving it respect, because if you want to call it for what it is, you call it a jungle, because a jungle is where the bigger animals or the dangerous animal, carnivorous, are left. They don't have rules there. What they do is that they keep on preying on other animals, except if the animals decide to walk in their park. Are you now seeing the way you are going to defeat those big animals in the jungle? When you decide to walk in your park, it is not going to vote to tell lion you will be the king of this jungle. It will not stop lion from making preying on you. It is only when you walk in your park and tell lion, you don't cross our territory. Enough is enough now. We have to actually take our faith by ourselves. We have to actually determine what is going to happen to us. We have to actually, call the shot here, because this jungle is not only for you, lion. If you refuse to walk in your park, you continue to believe that selection process is going to help you in Nigeria. I told you time without number. I told you over and over again that Peter Obi will never be the president of Nigeria. Peter Obi will never be given the president of Nigeria. I told you that Tinubu is a bullion van. Tinubu is a bullion van. Atiku was the choice of Fulani. Atiku was choice of Fulani. But they know that Tinubu, they have planned on what they will do with Tinubu. Because of that money, they can never reject that money. You see that money that Tinubu took out to bribe the independent electoral commission, or independent electoral, you must start calling it, it's no longer INEC. You must call it is it INEC? INSC, Independent Selectoral Commission. That is the new name of such platform or such entity that after election they do selection. Independent Selectoral Commission. That is exactly the way you are going. The reason why they accepted Tinubu, they could not say no to that billion van. They could not say no to him. So they have already placed their own man, which is already a terrorist. Of course, me and you know that the man that is the young man behind Tinubu is a terrorist. And Tinubu is forgetful. Tinubu is sick. Tinubu is old. If you declare the real age of Tinubu, you will understand that Tinubu is more than maybe 85 to 90 years old. He is using football age, African football age. That's what the age Tinubu is using. Upon all this, evidences that, show the indictment of Tinubu, upon all the things that Tinubu have done to people. Now, I want to bring in this as a logic. Let me not actually start, speculating. Let me bring a logic to it. In the year 2020, Tinubu is the one in charge of Lekki Tollgate. In the year 2020, when there was a Lekki Tollgate massacre, when people were protesting to end the SARS, who were preying on people's organ. Now, when the British envoy made a visit to Tinubu, after the British envoy made a visit to Tinubu in the name of Catriona Land, and then what happened next? Mazen Nnamdi Kanu alerted you all that they are going to send military to kill you. Did he not, or did he do that, or did he not do that? He alerted you that they are going to send military to kill you. And the British envoy did not hide the fact that she went to visit Tinubu. And she took a picture, she posted it on the public domain. And now, after some hours of visiting Tinubu, after maybe 24 but less than 48 hours of visiting Tinubu, what happened? Military was deployed to the Lekki toll gate, cameras was removed, people were shot at with live ammunition, with AK-47, with G3 magazine, with machine gun. They opened fire in hundreds of thousands of people just to scare them away. The same Tinubu who wants you to move away from his toll gate because he is losing money from that toll gate. The same Tinubu. The logic there now is, who would want to vote Tinubu into office? In this regard, when the whole Nigeria came out to protest against the police brutality, against the SARS harvesting organs of people, selling it in Europe and in Asia, against police, which is named as SARS, law enforcers, harvesting people's organ, killing them and dumping them in the river, not even giving them a burial. This same Tinubu was involved in the massacre in Lekki Tollgate. The same Tinubu, how could someone wake up to vote for him? We know there are people he bribed in the social media. We know there is people from coastal region he bribed in the likes of Asare Dokubo, in the likes of the idiot in Britain, the boy, Omo boy in Britain. In the likes of him, he was bribed, he was given money to promote Tinubu. Those whom you saw promoting Tinubu were people who were given money. There is nobody that is in their natural mind or in their normal state of mind that actually supported Tinubu, except those that was given money. Now you begin to understand the reason why your cash was taken away. Now you begin to understand. I told you this before all these things. I told you this before the result. The reason why your cash was taken away, because Tinubu have given, he was proactive, and his group. Who was that guy? Somebody in that comment section, remind me, who is Tinubu's second in command? Who is his second in command? It was Shettima. Shettima, right? It was Shettima. Shettima is the Tinubu's second in command. And Shettima is a Fulani man. Shettima you have seen Shettima in several occasions with Boko Haram. Haven't you seen him? Of course, you have seen Shettima with Boko Haram. You have seen Shettima with terrorists. It is not a propaganda, because so many people who believe that we are actually promoting propaganda. We are not. Everything we are saying here, the evidence is there in the public domain. We are not saying what we do not know. And we are not trying to instigate anybody. What we are saying here, it is what happened to us. If I will make my stance known, I am technically a Nigerian, originally a Biafran. That is how I introduce myself. Whether be it in a media house, if I decide to represent Biafra in any media house, I introduce myself as technically a Nigerian, originally a Biafran. So in this regard, I want you to know that Shetima have been seen with terrorists in Nigeria. We are still going to talk about the terrorism in Africa, how they come, how it is actually emanating, and where they are actually targeted to take it next. We're going there. Don't go anywhere. I want you now to understand that the reason why they accepted Tinubu's bribe and seized the cash from flowing, it is because Tinubu was proactive in bribing. They don't want to say no to other people. That is the reason why they actually passed a law that there will be no cash flow in Nigeria. Because when these things was happening, Tinubu was already given a bullion van. He already made his arrangement because he's Jagaban guy man. You know, if he is a very, very, intelligent person, Tinubu. But the only problem is that the intelligence is actually channeled into negativity. The intelligence of that guy, if he had that intelligence in good thing, he will be invincible. But his intelligence is only in criminality, that he make use of it. He was inducted in America. A president was inducted in America for a crime. He is still the one who was selected to be your first citizen of Nigeria. And now I have told you time without number, when Tinubu becomes the president of Nigeria, your Nigeria, not mine. Your Nigeria, not mine. Because I am now going to start, answering my Biafra. Because I am a Biafran. Technically a Nigerian. But I don't want to be technical anymore. I want to be original this time around. Because the technicality has never helped me. Technicality gave me a bad name. Technicality gave me that each and every place you pass, be it in Europe, each and every place you go, be it in African country, they would see you as criminal because of that technicality of you being a Nigerian. Before Britain decided, to give you make you a Nigerian. It is very, very important that we put the world on notice that all this shenanigan happening in Nigeria, it is human being that is bearing it. It is not animals. Except those who want to behave like animals. That is the reason why we have called you the zoo. Because there are people who live in there who think like animals, who behave like animals, who does not have sense of humor, who are not reasonable. There are those in the same zoological republic, and that is exactly the reason why we call them what we call them. Because these are typical black people, typical black mind. They say to you, black is evil. I want you, if you are living in Nigeria, in Africa, I want you to stop praying every activities of darkness die by fire. Until you stop praying that prayer, you will never ever emancipate. Until you stop praying die by fire, every power of darkness die by fire. But you are blackness. You are blackness according to what they have called you. You are still praying every activities of darkness die by fire. You are praying for you to die by fire. You are praying for your brain to die by fire. Stop all this rubbish type of prayers you are making, because it is bouncing back. It never helped you. It is time for radical. It is time for radicality. Because if you don't wake up now, oh, what is to come in Nigeria? Forget Jagabano. Jagaban is not the plan. Jagaban will be taken out. Mark my word, mark today's date. If Jagaban's to be the president of Nigeria, if all this shenanigans at the end of it, they say, okay, Jagaban, you are now the president of Nigeria, Jagaban will be taken out. It will not exceed 2 years. Write today's date. It is right in front of your screen. Today is Thursday, the March 2nd, 2023. It is actually 16 minutes before the top of the hour. Regardless of where you are watching from, it is 16 minutes before the top of the hour. And in Biafra land, the holy land of Biafra, where there is a 0 latitude and 0 longitude, it is actually 15 minutes before 9 o'clock in the land of the rising sun. And what we are here to prophesy is that the sun shall rise from the east part of that area of sub-Saharan. The people and the children of Chukwokikabiama will gather. The suppliant will gather and present their offering to their God, to their chi, Chukwokikabiama, who lives in heaven, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob, or the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He will accept our offering, because what we are seeing now, it is already written unto us. We are going to see it, and 2 parts of us will be cut off. And I keep saying this each and every time I come online. 2 parts of us shall be cut off. And those that are going to be cut off are mostly the ignorant people. Those who are very, very ignorant, they shall be cut off from among us. And the remaining ones will now know the law and embrace it. Now, let me not deviate from what I am saying. Tinubu is not the plan. Shettima is the plan. And Shettima is going to be your president in no distance time. Tinubu have signed his death warrant. This is, I am actually telling you, according to the algorithm. If I am into church or Christianity, I will tell you I'm prophesying. But I am not telling you because I saw it being planned. But I am following the algorithm. I am following the, the move of Fulani. Like the way I followed it, I said anybody who will tell you that there will be no election in Biafra land, they are criminal. They have collected money from Tinubu. And that is exactly the same thing that you have seen. Those of you who are always in this platform, you will know I ring it like a gong. I play it like a music every time I come online. Who were going to be blamed? IPOB. Because they are going to one. If we did not start shouting it, it was going to be blamed on IPOB. Me and you. Then now you will see US, or you will see Tony Blinken, or Tony Institute of Peace, they will say that IPOB is deemed to be anti-democratic movement and must be placed on a watching list or watch list. Their activities must be investigated. That is what you will be hearing on the headline. Because they have actually assigned this guy in their syndicate. Like I was saying on Radio Biafra on Tuesday, when we were there on Radio Biafra, these are the members of a syndicate. The real reason why I call them the members of a syndicate means a group of people who are well organized in their criminal activities, illegal activities, I may say it if I want to place a terminology to it, in their illegal activities. And they are well organized, well funded, they have their network. Many people, the difference between this one of autopilot is that many of them that are championing the activities of this, syndicate, they are not aware of what they are doing. And their ignorance continue to compel them to do what they are doing. Those of you who are not ignorant, you would have actually noticed that each time I'm talking about myself, each time I come online, I tell you that this is going to be like this. You believe it because you have seen that happening. You have seen it happening. We don't talk until we know what we are going to say. In that their syndicate, many of them were recruited, believing they are doing IPOB, they are fighting for Biafra. That is when you know a double agent. There is a way you will be a double agent without you knowing that you are playing a double agent role. So when you look at the activities of autopilot and the emergence of autopilot, you will know the timing, emergence of Idu, the timing, emergence of the people on the side of the truth, the timing. They are all the same people. Idu on the side of the truth, autopilot, and New Dimension. Emergence of all these things, they are one people. Even though they started actually segregating because money becomes a problem. In this syndicate, or in this type of organization, the only thing that becomes their problem is always money. Why? Because now those who does not know whom they are working for, but they know that they are up to something. Today you have seen those who knew from the beginning what they are working for, that how they put them together to work with each other, to carry each other along. Just like the Akwa Ibom boy, who will always call you, come and tell you, Akwa Ibom is Biafra, we will continue to fight to defend our land. Without you knowing, Akwa Ibom is Biafra is for you to follow him, for him to gain momentum, for him to gain your sympathy. At the end of the day, he will use it to tell you, screw you. And that's what he did. From the time they started this, shenanigan, he told you that Ojukwu is the problem, Ojukwu this, Ojukwu that, Igbo people are the problem. Hasn't that shown you where these people has been going? The fact that their leader in this media syndicate, their leader, which is Epa in Finland, Eperima in Finland. Eperima simply means a rogue in Finland, who actually was very, very cunning. He was very cunning. Everything he does it with, a plan. He plans them. He is not coming to just start ranting on social media like Akwa Ibom boy, Nelly. That's why they casted so quickly. He was very articulative in brainwashing you. He was very articulative. You know why he was articulative? He is westernized. That's the reason why he is articulative. He is he is westernized. He left the zoological republic called Nigeria, which is the British contraption. He left the Nigeria when he was still a minor. And he found himself in Finland. He began to champion everything that the Europeans champion. Anything that European does, he began to do it. He blended in and become European. Why do you think that he will do something opposite from what Europeans want? Because they made him their citizen. They actually, gave him even a position in local politics. No, let's be logical about that. They made him their citizen. They gave him position in their local politics. Why do you think he will not be westernized? A person who left Nigeria probably at the age of 16, 17 years old, a minor, and has been in Europe for 2 decades. For 2 decades, without returning home. He become westernized. And the same people rose up and tell you that he knows the roadmap to Biafra. The same people rose up to tell you sit at home. The same person rose up to tell you to start commanding you around. That is now, what he did and how you people responded to it is now showing us where we need to channel the decolonization, where we need to channel the education. It is about, our people understanding that, because it looks like when we tell you that Britain is your problem, when we tell you that the Western nations are the reason why the system is destroying you, making you run away from it, you believe is a myth. I am understanding that you believe is a myth. It is not a myth. That is something that we actually need to get into your brain. If you get it into your brain, you will understand that Simon is a westernized fool who actually found himself opportunity of making money, making extra dough. But the people who recruited him did not come to him directly. They sent people. And how they sent people, they used these same people. He believed that these people, remember that they will always come as people who want to, make you, a better person, or a person who want to champion your cause, or somebody who want to elevate you. And some of you may call them, I have seen my destiny helper. I have seen my destiny helper. And in the quest of you seeing your destiny helper, you will end up, making a big blunder that will destroy you for good. The reason why they cannot show themselves, those who actually brought him to what he is doing today, the reason why they could not show themselves, you know why? Because if the mission failed, they will have, actually have him to be blamed. They will still come to prosecute him. Because of course he does not know who hired him. If the mission fails, they will prosecute him. That is the plan. And that is exactly what is going on today. The mission is failed. The mission needs to be aborted. But the problem there is that the idiot that has been used like as a willing tool, he does not want to be warm. He does not want to be hot or to be cold. He wants to be lukewarm. And the reason why he decides to be lukewarm is because of ignorant and egotistic nature of him. And when you extend this, the egotistic nature of him, you bring it and actually, pin it to the stereotype. Pin it to the stereotype. I don't want to elaborate on this thing of stereotype because so many of you will misunderstand it or misinterpret it. That the stereotype is the reason why he is still doing what he is doing. Once he is drowning, yet he is acting like he is actually warming up. He is drowning. His computers was taken away for investigation. Did he tell you? The answer is no. He wouldn't tell you. He is drowning. He is sick. He is not well. I don't wish him ill because I'm not in a position to wish him ill. The nature will actually take its course in his life. For the sake of people he has killed, for the sake of people he has lured to their death, nature will take its course. The reason why I cannot wish him ill, if he happens to be a Biafra blood, truly, I am not in a position to wish him ill. The nature will take its course. That's where I stand. That is me. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. Pray for your enemy. That is the reason why so many occasions people come to my comment section commenting that you will go to your grave. If you go to my comment section, people are cursing me because of their master Simon Ekpa, who is already drowning. They're telling me I am going to go to my grave. They're telling me all sort of things without seeing that the person they are protecting is drowning. The most important thing that you need to understand is that the Western world, they use us against us. The manipulators, they use us against us. And how they use us against us, you might not be able to know. You might not be able to decode it. When they use you against you, you will be believing that they are trying to help you. You will be believing that they are giving you a diplomatic help. You will be believing that they are giving you a diplomatic assistance without you knowing that they are using you against you, which is the very, very, which is very, very dangerous, because something you cannot understand what is happening. Where you cannot understand what is happening, but you are championing something that you don't know exactly what you are doing. It is very dangerous. That is the reason why even the Bible says, my people perish for lack of knowledge. When you lack knowledge, you become ignorant. And it is very, very dangerous. Ignorant people. People who are ignorant are the most dangerous people. Because ignorance will take them to destroy you. that is next to them or that is believing in them. Ignorant will will take them to destroy you, because they don't want to drown. They won't drown alone. They won't sink alone. So why am I saying this? It is something like I was going through the news, African news today. I was because, you know, as an African decolonization activist and as a political activist, my obligation is that Africa must be free from the shackle of this neo-colonial power, of a shackle of imperialism. Africa must be free. And that is the reason why I make sure that I follow everything, every news that is emanating from Africa. And I saw this news, I was very, very, surprised. Do you know why I was surprised? Because how are these people manipulating us? How do they manipulate us? I will tell you. This news I am following, I saw it. Let me see if I will be able to bring it out to your screen. If I will not be able to bring it, I will read it for you. Okay, now let me see if I will be able to bring it to your screen. Then we will deliberate on it. Just one moment. I don't know if it is going to share. All right, it is not going to. If it is going to share, it is going to be a screen share. Let's try to do a screen share, but the screen share is crazy. It is going to share everything It is basically going to share what I have here. Okay, let me do this. Let me do the screen share, is okay. Now, I hope you are seeing the news right in front of your screen. It says, government concerned about 22 Afghanistan nationals on the run from the Taliban who were granted asylum in SA. I don't know if you are seeing that news in front of your screen. In SA, let us continue to read. Okay, South Africa, Johannesburg, the minister in the presidency, Monthly Gungubele, said they are going to take the lead from the Home Affairs Minister regarding the 22 Afghan nationals seeking asylum in South Africa. Now, let us see, because the court advised that you are concerned about in the appeal. Okay, the court advised that what you are concerned about in the appeal is what you can consider, and when they consider whether they qualify for whatever kind of status, the court may not be necessary platform to deal with that. But we are concerned that any country or human being can just dump people in your country and automatically expect that this country will just accept them. Accept them. Gungubele said South Africans, including the political party ATM, also expressed concern amid the Pretoria High Court ruling in favor of the 22 Afghanistan nationals who wanted asylum in the country. The court ruling was frowned upon by some who asked why not seek asylum in other countries. Now, the Home Affairs Department said it would abide by the ruling of the court and take all necessary steps to give effect to the ruling. This is despite the fact that Department Minister Aaron Motsoaledi opposed the application entry of asylum seekers into the country. Now, why did he oppose this? I might not be able to read further. I want you to actually go and if you want to know further about this news, you can actually go and research further about it. But now, based on I have actually went through this information, or the information thereof, this is 22 Afghanistan nationals who were running away from, according to the story. I want to actually bring this to you, to what we are doing right now. I want to bring it to you because I told you how this big world, they are manipulating the small world, which they see to be the second and third world country, which is Africa. Now listen up. They actually sent these 22 Afghanistans was bundled and sent to South Africa direct by American NGOs. Upon arrival, they actually already set up a law. They have, set up a lawyer, and they take the matter to court for South Africa to compel South Africa to grant these people asylum in South Africa, which, according to that information, the Minister of Home Affairs is actually, not buying the stories of these people, because the argument has been, how can these people travel all the way from Afghanistan? They didn't go to America, they didn't go to Canada, they did not go to other Asia countries or Arab countries around them. They found their way to South Africa. And the argument also has also been embedded on the warnings of terrorist activities in South Africa. It has also been embedded on the warnings from the USA about the terrorist activities in South Africa, which was the time they issued the warning in Nigeria. They issued it in South Africa. Was there any other place they issued the warning in Africa? It was Nigeria and South Africa. They issued that warning. And then that warning, it never happened in South Africa, according to the argument. And now, there was another warning they issued in South Africa, which is, I think they said to their citizens to start preparing and stockpiling food and other things. I don't know what for. I didn't follow that one. So, after all these things, you will now see 22 Afghanistans. These Afghanistan people, I believe they have served America diligently while America was still in Afghanistan. They served them diligently. They helped them to fight according to the history or the story of them, they helped them to fight the Taliban. Now they believe Taliban, according the story is that Taliban might kill them or might execute them, so they have to find a refuge Taliban and the takeover in Afghanistan did not happen yesterday. Taliban and takeover of Afghanistan did not happen 1 month ago. I believe it's almost a year, if not more than a year. More than a year. This Taliban issue. Now the Afghanistan, all this while, they haven't found a refuge. They found their way, 22 of them found their way, making their way to South Africa. So if they make their way to South Africa and go into South Africa, who is going to keep tabs of their activities? Who is going to make sure that these people they call Taliban is not among them? Who is going to make sure that these people they called terrorists is not among them? The issue now becomes, how does terrorists emanate in Africa? Because if you want to define terrorism are, they are a group of people who are well organized. I can call them the group of syndicates because they have a network. They are funded by top officials somewhere in the big world or somewhere in Africa. They are funded by somebody who is in politics, and they are willing to go into a country in Africa because African countries, they believe and they know that African countries, once you bring the money, they will not say no to. They will capitulate. So when they actually bring in these people, some NGOs will send some, 1 or 2 people, because they know they have their network there already in Nigeria. They have their network there already in Mozambique. They have their network there already in South Africa. Maybe that when these people make their way into that countries, they will settle down. They will start recruiting underground. And some government official will not even know that they will be helping them. Because these people might come and start doing humanitarian job, start dishing out money, dishing out humanitarian help, and all these things. Because NGOs, the big world, are actually using NGO to monitor the activities of the small world. And this big world, when they use these NGOs, they have people who do clandestine job for the big world. Inside these NGOs, now they will come in, they will act like they are helping your country without you knowing, embedded in their religion, without you knowing. They are recruiting people who is going to actually give your country a problem. I am telling you how terrorism emanates in Africa, how it starts. Of course, they believe Africans does not have intelligence. We are intelligent, but we don't have network. We have network, but not a broad network. I cannot say we have network of intelligence, but we don't have it broad because we don't have sponsors and any other, all those things, but we have our own network. Now, in this regard, when these people, if Facebook kick you out, try to bring yourself back up, because such, topic, they don't want us to preach it. They don't want us to talk about it. But this is for the life of our people. It is for your life. It is for my life. Someone has to be a sacrificial lamb. Someone has to talk about it for something to be done. Every day you hear terrorism in Africa, terrorism there, terrorism there. It is actually taking over the whole of Africa. When is it going to stop? It has to be. That problem must be corrected from somewhere. And if you ask me, I believe that South Africa might correct it if they are resilient. I am not saying that it is terrorists coming into their country, but the warnings has been issued to them. Warnings has been issued to them. Now, okay, after all these things, when they settle in your country, let me not deviate. When they settle in that country, they will be recruiting. Remember, the people they will be recruiting are hungry people. People that are tired of this world. People that are tired of life. People who might even want to commit suicide because of Iko Wagulafa. They will be recruiting them, putting them in homes, putting them in a particular place. You will be thinking that they are taking care of these people. That you will be thinking that this is a NGO home. Or is it NGO? Yeah. You will be thinking that this is where they look after these people without you knowing what they are instilling in these people. The next thing, they will start deploying them. They will find a location where there is no maybe network. They will find a location where you cannot access without them seeing you. Once they find that location for them, they have settled before you take them out. And remember, whatever they are doing, there will be an insider inside the government who will make sure that these people are safe, supply them everything they want, protect them, give them information that these people are going to come and attack. So you must get ready, or you move from your location, you relocate. So these are the reason why this terrorism network in Africa has never been eradicated. Because they will find somebody in the government. They will start working with them, just like what is happening in Nigeria today. Many government officials, Nigeria is run by a terrorist government. The vice president of Tinubu, you have seen him on several occasions with terrorists. You have heard him talking about, if you kill terrorists, you are killing his own people. On the voice phone interview, on the voice call, he cannot, because the only thing they do, how they get away with it, once you present such evidence, they will tell you it's doctored. That is what they do. When they have a government official who knows the security operation in the country, once they have them, the person will be giving them information, because they have used money to mess that person up. He will not even change his mind. He will be giving them informations, how the activities of the security is, giving them information on your security database. If the country intelligence is very weak, they will one day invade the database and collect and be in the database themselves. So, it is very important. I advise our brothers and sisters in South Africa, because we have so many of our people in South Africa as well, because we don't want to, as they run away from Nigeria because of this violent, this killing, terrorism, dehumanization, extortion, exploitation, and all these things. And when they go there, one day it will start happening there. I know that they have gone there, and even in South Africa, we have our brothers, our people who are there, that are the people from there. Like I told you, when I read the book of Genesis for you, I told you, you will see the names from people in Zimbabwe, South Africa, Kenya, Congo, Sierra Leone, all those places. You will find those people. So in this regard, I actually kind of like what their minister is doing. The news I read, if it is indeed what he is doing, it is I applaud him for that, and he need the support of other African leaders. He need the support of people of South Africa, because once you go wrong, to make it right is very difficult. Terrorism in Africa. Terrorism in Africa. Now, why did I come to it? The reason why I came to it is for so many of you that when we tell you that big world is the problem, people who are affiliated to the big world, who believe in the big world blindly, they will never give you anything freedom in Africa. Do you know why? The autopilot leader is, he is big world. He's from big world. If you believe that he is still from you, Africa, or he is still like thinking the way you are thinking in Africa, he is not. That is the reason why he was able to put up an act in the last 2 years and manipulating you stage by stage, telling you he know when Biafra will come, stage by stage. He keep on bringing it out. Each and every day he come online, he bring new story. He tell you that he is going to get you Biafra. 3 days left, I believe. Is it 4 days or 3? Either 4 or 5 days left. That he's going to give you Biafra. Why is he not giving you Biafra? Why? He will not give you because he does not believe in giving you Biafra. What he came to do, he found that as a career because he was already bankrupt. His bogus law firm has been bankrupt. According to the Finland news that you and I have seen, the fact that we have Rugota media in Nigeria does not mean the Europeans, they investigate before they engage. They told you that he was bankrupt before he went into, in 2020. In 2020, of course, he started his shenanigan. He planned his shenanigan, which all of them, so many of them, COVID-19 rendered them bankrupt. COVID-19 rendered them unemployed, especially those who were self-employed. Like I said to you, COVID-19 harmed me financially. A lot, it harmed me financially. But it will not make me now to start exploiting my own people, to start killing my own people, because I am shouting, what they want to hear. At the end, I will start killing them in the name of sit at home, in the name of making myself relevant. No, the last thing I will do is to think evil about my own people. The last thing I will ever do. The reason why I am actually telling you this, it is because I am decolonized. I am not the same as you people. Maybe not all of you. Many of you are free from mental slavery. That is the reason why I don't condone black on black violence. Black on black violence has been our problem. Black on black violence has been our problem. When a black man will see a fellow black man and call him brother, regardless of where they come from, and see him as his own reflection, we are in this together. I believe we are going to actually, build a safe haven where we found ourselves. We cannot do things together because of the barrier. Now, saying that does not mean that blacks on black or blacks are not different people. There are blacks that are from different origin, like Fulani. Fulani, they are different people. They are not black people like you. They are different people from different, migration. Now you will understand. Starting from the beginning, when all these things started, segregation started. Ishmael, Isaac, then you have Jacob, you have Edomite, Esau, you have Jacob, Israelite. So starting from there was different nations. But your own people, you must love them with all your